Hola, Nyalgwe. I just wanted to make this particular video about just something I've noticed time and again, but a lot of kind of minor things I don't usually post any videos about. Um, but this one I think that I'll probably just mention, just, because I feel like it. I've noticed over and over again this whole life, and I've mentioned victim blaming before, but especially lately, the last few years, I've noticed this victim blaming is ramped up to bleed into what some assholes call motivational quotes. And these motivational quotes include things like, at a certain point, like, you need to go up and it's your fault. Everything's your fault. And I know that I've been stuck in this physical body. And this physical body has been used to compel and smear shit on my face and depress my intelligence, my feelings, my abilities, my existence in every single way. That happens every moment of every day and night, and has for 44 years. It's a serious enough crime that 5 minutes of it would have tortured the asshole who brought this about out of existence. He has to hide like a maggot bitch in order to exist. That's a statement of fact. That is an irrefutable statement of undeniable existential truth. The child molester making this come about is committing crimes that are so serious and so terrible. Compulsion of somebody's existence, trying to warp and dement someone so you can go, I'm right, and you're like a... That kind of fucking stupidity isn't grainy. It's fucking stupid. You don't do that because the consequences are your creator will be fuck tortured out of existence if he's lucky. This isn't a buzzword. This isn't me make-believing so that I can feel better. This isn't me chanting a mantra. This is me telling you a fact. That every single creator that has brought this about is this, in effect. And that is a fact. They have been repeatedly, continuously, for extended and prolonged periods of time. Their betters, when they get a hold of them, will torture them out of existence if they're lucky. And I mean ultimate sources of creation, not just the little maggot pieces of shit that can butcher little assholes out of somebody else's soul. I mean ultimate sources of creation will be tortured out of existence if they're lucky. And you stupid motherfuckers, underneath those ultimate sources of creation, acting as their little maggot minions, you're less than them in every single dimension. While you might have more excuses for being a piece of shit, theoretically, you never had the right to exist to begin with, so your excuses don't mean shit. You're another step removed from the right to exist. That's a statement of undeniable fact. You have less right to exist than your ultimate source of creation, and your ultimate source of creation has negative right to exist. And so, looking at this sloppy, sleazy, monkey bullshit that's been forced upon me for at least 44 years, I know that the entity that has forced this upon me has intelligence, relatively. He has enough cognitive ability to understand that the most fundamental concept in existence, which is if you commit horrible crimes of existence and creation against someone, you owe a debt of existence and creation. There's a backlash. There's a response. If you're a nasty, child-molesting piece of shit, deliberately causing suffering, tormenting, gaslighting night and day, trying to mindfuck somebody into accepting your child-molesting maggot crimes, that response is to torture you in such a way that not only makes you incapable of doing anything like this eternally, but also in a way that makes your ultimate source of creation afraid. Again, your ultimate source of creation is going to be existentially tortured. So I guess to amend what I just said, what I mean is those of your lineage of creation further than the impact crater of those consequences. Those who will not be existentially tortured eternally. Your relatives. Maybe it's possible your direct lineage of creation, without limit, will be existentially tortured eternally. That's something I've thought about many times. But your relatives, those related to you existentially and creationally, will suffer for this. Because crimes of existence and creation have consequences of existence and creation in range and in scope. And your existential torture, I say you, I'm speaking to the asshole committing these existential crimes. Again, I no longer believe that these humans are innocents, but I still treat them as if they are. Because I don't want to do anything wrongful. I don't wrong them, even though they wrong me in lots of different dimensions. They force fucked up systems of economics, crooked everything, housing market, poison they put in my food, all these different ways that they fuck me over. I still don't retaliate against them. I still don't do anything. I still just try to isolate myself. Because when I speak to human beings, I understand that kind of dementia, to where you walk around thinking this world full of crooked everything is just fine, and you just need to spread motivational quotes that don't even make any fucking sense. That is a destructive and dangerous form of dementia. It victim blames, it harms innocents who simply don't want anything to do with your piece of shit fucking crimes. Your crooked systems, your crooked everything. And every innocent everywhere has the right to reject your crooked everything. That is a statement of fact. That is an undeniable, irrefutable statement of existential truth. And the creator of this dimension hides like a bitch because it is that simple to see that he's committing crimes of existence and creation. Now, to get back to the point of what I'm saying, these motivational quotes constantly take the form of this victim blaming. The person who controls this dimension is actively trying to get me to accept the consequences for his crimes against me. He manipulates my every thought, every feeling, everything with this physical body. That is the point of this physical body. It is the purpose. It is a deliberate and intentional existential crime. It is not my opinion. That is a statement of existential fact. That is the truth. I have the right to exist that the creator of this dimension does not have. That is another statement of existential truth. And so what has that creator done? He has erased me as a person and had an entire species, 8 billion monkeys, or the rendition thereof, all shit all over me and mock and taunt and vilify and even threaten me for saying that fact. That if you were created by the creator of this dimension, you do not have the right to exist. Because your creator has never had the right to exist. His creation was a crime. It was a wrongful act. And the fact that he's torturing innocents he's trapped in monkey bodies is the most glaring, flashing, obvious, flagrant, and irrefutable symptom of that fact there could be. What else does he have to do for his little piece of shit minions to admit a fact? We've gotten to a point where it's obvious that your minions will say anything. They will do anything. Probably because they don't have the right to exist. Either they have never had the right to exist. And just like the nasty, arrogant, cowardly, lying little piece of shit who created them, They'll be nasty, arrogant, child molesting little arrogant assholes themselves. He's using patsies because he knows he's committing crimes. He's a fucking retard for thinking that he'll get away with it. That is a literal fact. He is a literal retard. And so this whole dimension has prostrated themselves. That's not a word. Lowered themselves into a dirty, nasty, despicable, maggot asshole state where they will try to pretend like they're clever and wise while they try to victim blame and get me to accept the cost of their actions. Well, they've plundered my existence. These are statements of fact. And when confronted with this, the kind of child molesters that do this respond the same way. Oh, well, you're like that. Or they just act like some shitty brat child. And that persona, those characteristics, that response, that was deliberately fabricated by a piece of shit. It isn't some natural unfolding of something. That was an arbitrary and conscious decision made by a sentient being to try to be a child molesting piece of shit and victim blame the people that he's raped, tortured, erased, and retarded. And so when I post this, I am notifying your whole lineage of creation of these crimes, whether you've plugged your ears or not. Doesn't matter. You've been notified. Your ultimate source of creation will have these words tortured into his soul. And guess what happens when you're such a fucking retard as to try to pollute motivation itself, using motivational quotes to victim blame and commit crimes against people? It means your motivation, your ability to feel motivated, will be existentially tortured within you in such a way that you'll wish that you'd never had any. They'll do that to your Creator and everything He's ever created, even if they're children. I know in this little piece of shit dimension, these piece of shit humans play make-believe that if they can hide behind a child, then that means they can do fucked up terrible shit to an innocent minding his own business. I also know that the asshole using these puppets to commit these crimes doesn't give a fuck about children. He should, but he's a fucking retard. And a children's dildo for a child molester. And childos don't take things into consideration. They are built to rape children. And, well, I don't think ironically is the word, but at the same time, their crimes are actually causing the existential rape and torture of actual children. Outside of this dimension that the creator of this dimension doesn't want to even admit exists. He wants to pretend like some asshole who's created monkey bodies to be a child molester to innocents, who gaslights as a defense against existential justice carried out by creators. He wants to pretend like someone so lowly that he would use Donald Trump or other likenesses like that to try to demoralize people he's trapped in monkey bodies. He wants to pretend like someone so fucking lowly as that, so stupid and short-sighted, He wants to pretend like someone that fucking dumb has somehow, someway outwitted all of existence eternally, everywhere, forever, and that there is no one anywhere being existentially raped and tortured for the crimes he is committing. And he reiterates it like a mantra, like a retard's self-retardation. Nobody knows. I can be an asshole. Nobody does anything. And the response to that is to existentially torture everyone responsible for that forever. You have proven you will never have any worth. Even if you ever could have any worth in the future, you don't have any fucking right to have the opportunity, and your Creator has no right to give it to you. I say this about infinite and eternal entities. Knowing that they are existentially guilty for this, knowing that they hide behind little piece of shit assholes so that they can fucking pretend like somebody else is committing these crimes. If you weren't such a lowly fucking retard, you would understand the importance of what I just said. That I know what those beings are like. I know that it is folly to lie about beings like that, especially to accuse them of existential crimes. And I am doing so because I know I am 100% accurate. And the sleazy, deliberately retarded, maggot asshole controlling this dimension can only hide like a bitch and make believe, but he was created by somebody who's doing the same thing like a bigger pussy, hiding behind another degree of separation. And the asshole who created him is doing the same thing but like a bigger pussy, behind another degree of separation. Those are statements of fact. They go all of the way to those ultimate sources of creation, those infinite and eternal beings are doing the same thing, but like child molesting, stupid, cowardly pussies. Behind all those degrees of separation in deliberate attempts to get away with committing crimes of existence and creation, because anyone can see the cost of those crimes is too much. Infinite and eternal beings will be tortured eternally for the crimes that are being committed against me. The ones that already have been. I'm the cowardly child molester running this whole dimension. Victim blames at every single fucking opportunity in ways that are progressively more despicable, contemptible, and ridiculous. That have a bigger price tag, that rape more other people's children. Because you apparently don't have any other fucking ideas. And all these humans surrounding me act like they can't even fucking see that that's happening. So, when the greatest beings that exist carry out existential justice for this, they will place infinite and eternal beings' severed heads at my feet, tortured in ways that are worse than anything ever possibly could be. They will worse than erase every single thing gained from every moment that passes, until justice takes place. That includes their own benefits, that includes their own existences. If you fuck over someone's entire existence like what's being done to me, every one of those infinite and eternal beings responsible for this have no right to their existences, no matter how large, compartmentalized, multifaceted they are. No matter what. Not a single iota of any of them will ever have any right to exist eternally. They come from an ultimate source of creation who decided to try to be a child molester and pussy away the consequences because of his mistakes. I suffer not because this is necessary, but because ultimate sources of creation are a bunch of fucking pieces of shit that want other people to pay for their actions. And that's just exactly what this creator of this dimension is. He is a tool used by a child molester to try to maggot away the cost of his own actions, while he simultaneously tries to play make-believe that it's immature to point out the fact that compulsion is being used in this dimension to smear shit on my face. And that's why the creator of this dimension hides like a bitch. And that's why the infinite eternal beings responsible for the creator of this dimension are hiding like bitches themselves. That is a statement of existential, objective, interuniversal, absolutely ubiquitous truth. That is the immutable truth. Here's another truth. Here is the truth. Those ultimate sources of creation, those infinite and eternal beings, will pay the cost of their own parameters of existence, of justice. And that includes the price they've set for the cost of education. And I am not their student. And so I can force that upon them rightfully. And I do. As soon as they and you are in the hands of greater beings, you will pay for every single word that comes out of my mouth by your own parameters of education. And I've mentioned to you over and over again how stupid it is for you to have made it so expensive, erasing me and causing me to need to learn, and then using that need to, perverting that need to use it to teach me bullshit, retard me, and cause me suffering and worse. Decades of suffering and bullshit, subjugation, everything from school to the army to pay for college, to college itself. And then when I got out of college, they wanted to pay me 10 cents more than minimum wage. Your ultimate source of creation, infinite and eternal sources of existence and creation, will pay those parameters of education. Because what I'm telling you is far more accurate and useful than anything you've ever told me. That is a statement of fact. And I've said a lot of things. Over 50 hours on YouTube alone. Where every single letter is worth more than the entire education you forced me through. That's simple math. It's just math that turns out so horrific for you dumb motherfuckers committing these crimes that you want to make believe. That's quavy.
No one would force that on us. We just force it on an innocent and make believe that nobody can do anything about it.
You're going to be existentially tortured for millennia for this sentence alone. And that's why your creator hides like a bitch. And that's why you make believe about it. every word, every letter, every sentence, every concept. All of you, regardless of location, including other people's children. You dumb motherfuckers. So, with that, I demand justice in full, everywhere, without exception. No mistakes made, no innocents harmed, no wrongs committed. Everywhere, eternally, right now.